All right, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but, well, it might not be for long. We're diving into the concept of the self-charging electric vehicle.
Seriously, just think about that for a moment. What if you never, ever had to plug your car in again? No more hunting for charging stations, no more killing time while your car juices up, and absolutely zero range anxiety. That's the dream, right? Well, that's the core promise we're going to unpack today.
But to really get why this idea is such a total game changer, we first have to talk about the one big problem it's trying to solve. The thing that's still a major roadblock for so many people when it comes to switching to electric.
And this right here, this is the hurdle, plain and simple. I mean, we've all been trained our whole lives to spend, 5 minutes at a gas station? Tops. But with an EV, you're looking at 30 minutes, maybe an hour for a decent charge. Now, that's way better than it used to be, for sure, but it's still a huge mental shift, and a practical one, that stops a lot of folks from making the switch.
So what's the answer here? Just build faster and faster chargers? Maybe, but what if the real solution is to get rid of the plug entirely? And that brings us to this pretty wild idea, a car that literally feeds itself. Okay, so what in the world is a self-charging EV or an SCEV? The key thing to remember is this isn't just one simple trick like slapping a solar panel on the roof and calling it a day. No, it's a whole integrated system, a collection of technologies all working together to constantly pull in energy from the world around it.
And the goal here is, well, it's massive. We're not just talking about adding a few extra miles of range. The target is 100% energy self-sufficiency for something like 80% of all the driving we do on a daily basis. Basically, making the battery top itself off for almost every commute, every errand you run.
Okay, that's the point where you have to ask, how? How is that even physically possible? How can a car generate enough power to run itself while it's, running? Let's pop the hood on this thing and see how it works. It all boils down to this, what we're calling the energy harvesting trio. The SCEV is basically designed to be a master scavenger, pulling in energy from 3 totally different places: the sun above it, the motion it creates, and even its own waste heat.
First up, the most obvious one, the sun. But again, don't picture some tiny little token solar panel. We're talking about high-tech, flexible photovoltaic arrays that are built right into the car's body. The roof, the hood, the trunk, any surface that sees the sky becomes an energy generator.
And these aren't just for show. On a good day, we're talking about over 400 watts of continuous power being generated. Now, that might not sound like a ton, but it's more than enough to seriously cut down on how much juice the battery is using, especially if you're just cruising or the car is parked outside your office.
All right, next up, the car literally recycles its own movement into energy. And this goes way beyond the regenerative braking you find in today's EVs. This is about using advanced kinetic systems to capture energy not just when you hit the brakes, but from the simple, constant rotation of the wheels. And get this, the efficiency is just wow. The system is designed to recover 95% of the energy when you slow down. Think about what that means. The act of braking becomes a massive power boost. Suddenly, that annoying stop-and-go traffic, it's not draining your battery anymore. It's actually helping to charge it.
And a third piece of the puzzle is the one that's almost always just thrown away: waste heat. The car's drivetrain, the electronics, they all get hot. Normally, that energy just disappears into the air. But here, special thermoelectric generators capture that heat and turn it back into usable electricity. It's like recycling on a molecular level.
So you've got power coming in from the sun, from motion, from heat, all at different times and in different amounts. How on earth do you manage all that? Well, you need a brain, a really smart AI that acts like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure every part plays in perfect harmony.
And this AI has a pretty big to-do list. It's basically doing 4 things at once, all the time. It's monitoring the energy flowing in and out in real time. It's forecasting what you'll need based on your route, the weather, even traffic. It's optimizing where the power goes. And it's even making tiny, unnoticeable tweaks to the car's systems to squeeze out every last drop of energy it can generate.
Okay, this all sounds incredible, right? Almost too good to be true. But does the math actually, work out? Let's dig into the project's own data and see if a car can really drive its way into being energy positive.
And this chart, this is really the heart of it all. Take a look. When you're driving in the city or cruising on the highway, the car is pretty close to energy neutral. It's harvesting almost as much power as it's using.
But look at that last line, deceleration. When you slow down, it's not just getting a little power back, it's generating a huge surplus, a whopping 82 kilowatts. That is the magic moment. That's how the car doesn't just sustain itself, but actually recharges. So when you can consistently generate more power than you use, the whole idea of range just changes. It's no longer about a limit of 300 or 400 miles. The goal becomes, in theory, unlimited range for your daily driving. The car stops being just a consumer of power.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some pipe dream or a cool science fair project. There's a serious business plan behind this. The project is projecting almost $3 billion in revenue in just the first 5 years. That tells you just how big they think this technology could be.
So, how do we get from this amazing concept on a screen to an actual car people can buy? Well, there's a real plan in place to make this a reality.
And we're not talking about some far-off, distant future. The timeline is actually pretty aggressive. They're looking at validating the concept in 2026, having a working prototype by 2027, and aiming for a full commercial launch in August of 2028. This is an active program happening right now.
This quote from the analysis just nails the core idea. It's about turning vehicles from things that just use energy into energy assets. And that opens the door to incredible things like vehicle-to-grid tech. Imagine your car not only powers itself, but it can also power your house during a blackout, or even make you money by selling its extra energy back to the grid. Your car literally becomes a mobile power plant. And that really leaves us with one last, huge question to chew on. If our cars become power plants on wheels, if they start generating more energy than they use, what else changes? It's not just about transportation anymore, is it? It's about completely rewriting our relationship with energy itself. What else could that unlock?